Alright guys, what you don't want to do with your Optima battery is get anything metal on... Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to Jay's Garage. I did not melt the battery terminal by touching an extension on there, but I do have good information on how I did damage the battery terminal, and you guys need to see it. Alright, so I go out by myself and I'm like wanting to try out these Milestar Patagonias in the mud. Find a little mud spot. I'm out here by myself. I'm like, let's try a little bit of this soft mud. Well, turns out this soft mud was softer than I thought and deeper than I thought. Lo and behold, I get stuck. So, at least before I pulled in the mud, I noticed that there were some trees nearby that I could winch to because I was out there by myself. Gotta winch it out. I'm like, alright, no big deal. I have my winch gear with me. Start winching. Not very far into winching. No more winching. I'm like, alright. I do have a cheap worn winch. Doesn't even look very good for a few years old. I will say, despite its looks, it actually does work fairly well. I'm thinking maybe the winch is like overheated. Seems a little soon for the short amount of time that I was winching. You know, you should allow your winch to cool down and get breaks, but this was pretty soon. So I'm like, all right, well, I give it a break, start winching again, starts working again. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess it was getting hot. Pretty disappointing winching experience though, because you know, though I was stuck, shouldn't have been ridiculously challenging for a 10,000 pound winch on a two-door Jeep. Had to keep taking breaks over and over again to get the Jeep unstuck, and was like starting to get nervous because I really didn't know who I was going to call this day to get me out of this mud hole if the winch did not. So I get the Jeep unstuck. I'm like, at this point I'm like, what is the deal? The whole winching situation didn't go very well. I popped the hood. I'm like, let's see if the terminals are tight. Oh, okay. Terminal's completely tilted. Side terminal, that is. That's not good. Get the vehicle home and everything, start researching. Lo and behold, you're not supposed to hook up a winch to the side post on your Optima battery. Idiot. Felt pretty stupid about it. Felt pretty upset though that it wasn't made obvious as well. It never really dawned on me that a battery would have terminals on it that you couldn't utilize for everything that the battery had to offer. But as it turns out, the Optima battery does not support its full power potential on the side post, and it's only on the top post. Now, you know, some of you might be like, oh, you know, what an idiot. You probably should have read the warning or the instructions. I want to note that the warning for this is pretty buried in the information for the winch. It's not really in any large font. There's nothing very outstanding or distinguishable about it. You really have to read all the instructions word for word to find that you should not be hooking a winch up to those side posts. The battery does not say anywhere on it that the side post are not for wenching purposes. It's only buried in the instructions that you can find this information. So the battery has all kinds of warnings on it. There's warnings that it can cause cancer. There's warnings about exposure to the contents of the battery, the gases. All this is right on the battery. But what's not right on the battery is the inherent danger of hooking a winch up to the side posts. I can't understand why, if the side posts are not rated to handle the output of the battery, why there's no warning on the battery that says such. Why do I have to dig through the information on the battery to find out if those terminals are adequate for the output of the battery? Just doesn't make sense to me. Usually when you put warnings, you make them larger than other information in an instruction manual. That way it becomes obvious to the user that, hey, there's danger in this. Let me know what you guys think. In the comments below, let me know. Do you think that it should be more significantly noted that you don't hook up a winch to the side posts? Or is there some of you that just feel like, hey, that's a no-brainer, like the side posts are never meant for that? I am going to fault the quality on the fact that the side terminals can't support the full output of the battery. It's my understanding that there's other batteries on the market that can support running a winch on the side post, but you know, take this as a warning. Make sure you're reading the instructions for your battery. Make sure that your battery is capable of delivering its full output on the terminals that you hook your winch to, because you have to remember that the winch draws a lot of power, especially when you're pulling the full weight of a vehicle out, and it's going to ask everything that it can from the battery, and if the battery is not up to the job, things can happen. Now, I do want to note that my experience overall has been quite good with my Optima yellow top battery. My Jeep sits a little bit more than I'd like it to, and like there's been a few times that I've had to recharge the battery. It's been in there every bit of like 3 or 4 years now. Even with the damage though, the battery continues to work. It doesn't look like, fortunately, the damage wasn't so serious that I had to go and get a replacement battery. So anyways, this isn't to completely hate on Optima batteries. Let's be real. If it's dangerous to hook up an accessory to those side posts, let's get a better warning out there, Optima. Let's put it right into the plastic molding on the battery near the side post that you don't run high power accessories off of it. Let's make a larger warning note in the instructions. Anyways, guys, learn from my mistakes. If you're unsure about where you're going to connect your accessories on your battery, if you have multiple mounting options, read the instructions. Don't make silly mistakes like me and potentially risk having a fire out on the trail or something crazy. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching Jay's Garage. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you around.